When India entered into the war, then because of the superior army, India could actually influence the war and won the war, which brought the Bangladesh into which divided Pakistan into two parts. Before India, before Pakistan made a last before India could win the war, the Pakistan made a last effort, and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto had gone to United Nations Security Council, where you have seen he was not getting any kind of support from UN Security Council. Uh, and In fact, that was also a battleground between USSR and USA, where USA had sent their seventh fleet of USA Navy to India. In retaliation to that, Russia said, USSR said that if you bring your navy, then I'm also going to bring my navy as well. And that's how USA was pushed back, and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto had an unsuccessful attempt in United Security Council. In fact, he was so agitated, he was so furious with UNSC that he tore the paper which he was carrying into pieces and threw in the United Security Council. Uh, However, India won the war, and then Bangladesh born in 1971, and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman declared Bangladesh, or the East Pakistan, as a People's Republic of Bangladesh. Uh, then a flood came again in 1974, which has led to 1.5 million people who were affected or died. And there were, again, there were a lot of discontent. There was also controversies around Mujibur Rahman in terms of his mismanagement, his authoritarianism, and his some bad policy, which has brought discontent among the people. And uh, and and in 1975, again, one of the major event had happened when sh- when Mushtaq Ahmed, uh, who was a who was in army, he had killed General Ziaur. He had killed Sheikh Mujibur Rahman along with his entire family. uh, the current prime minister, or I mean the former prime minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, who is the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, she, along with her sister, were in Germany when this massacre had happened in their in prime minister's house. Uh, After that, Mushtaq Ahmad, he had took control of Bangladesh. Uh, just think that within 4 years of Bangladesh independence, this had happened, and he had declared, he had changed the name of People's Republic of Bangladesh to Islamic Republic of Bangladesh. And he continued running the government for a couple of years before another general from army, General Ziaur Rahman, uh, he became the army chief, and in 1977 became the president of Bangladesh. Uh, the current opposition leader, Begum Khalida Zia, she is the widow of General Ziaur Rahman, and he continued becoming the president for a long time before General Irshad became the president in 1983. However, before that, Begum Khalida, Sheikh Hasina, who was away in Germany when her family were killed. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, along with his entire family, were killed. She came back to she had given a kind of a safe house in India, and she stayed in India for almost 6 years before she had moved back to Bangladesh in 1981. And she was cheered. She immediately became very popular. People have sentimental values with Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, despite his mismanagement and despite his despite his authoritative rules. Uh, and a lot of fan followings with Sheikh Hasina as well. However, in 1983, when General Irshad became president, he made Bangladesh as Islamic state. And But in 1990, there was a pro-democracy movement all across the country, where where both Begum Khalida Zia, who is the widow of General Ziaur Rahman, as well as Sheikh Hasina, the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, they jointly participated in this movement, and the first free election had happened in Bangladesh in 1991, 2 decades after the Bangladesh became independent. In that election, Begum Khalida Zia, she became the prime minister of Bangladesh, uh, and she ran a government till 1996. In 1996, Sheikh Hasina became the prime minister. Sheikh Hasina became the prime minister of Bangladesh, and then came 1998, where again a major flood had come in Bangladesh, and when once again the mismanagement. Uh, See, Bangladesh is very densely populated. The country at that point in time was a least developed countries. There were hardly an economy. This instability in the country was much, and generally there were only few across the world. Also, there were only few wealthy nations. Uh, who were the colony masters who colonized African Asian regions, and so the countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all were coming out of finding and struggling their way up the ladder of economic benefit. However, because the population is huge, it was so difficult for the government to manage things, and on top of that, if there is no political instability, imagine what kind of relief, what kind of a country you would live in. uh, that's terrible. So in 1998, again, a flood had come, and because of that flood, since Sheikh Hasina was the prime minister, there was again a discontent against her. And in 2001, Begum Khalida Zia became prime minister once again. This was the second time she became the prime minister. The first time she became the prime minister was in 1991, and in 2007, and she has completed her rule till 2006. However, in 2007, once again, the president at that point in time, he has declared the state of emergency. And there were wide actually the background was there was a widespread corruption charges against both the parties, both ruling as well as opposition parties. People were not happy, and the president at that point in time, he had vowed to remove corruption from the country, and he had jailed both Sheikh Hasina as well as Begum Khalida Zia. Imagine a former prime minister and a former leader of opposition were both put behind the bars. Uh, this was not the first time when this has happened. However, even when Begum Khalida Zia became the prime minister of prime minister of Bangladesh, at that point in time also the election was boycotted by few political parties. And if you look at that, and you'll see that the democracy, the political rule of the country was not unanimously accepted by the people or the army, and then there was some sort of an interference from the army, and both the the major political parties, they were always breathing at the neck of each other, and that is not a good sign for the democracy. But that was how it was happening in Bangladesh. Uh, and In 2009, once again, there was a big mutiny. In 2008 again, in 2008 and 9, there was a flood again. However, this flood was not that devastating, but it's still a devastating flood. People of Bangladesh, they were now attuned to the floods and all. There was a cyclone, but still that cyclone was not that that big. In 2009, there was a small mutiny where Bangladesh Rifles, they had captured their own CEO, their own chief of army, their own chief, and then they had killed the entire family of that chief. Uh, And however, however, Sheikh Hasina was the prime minister in 2009, and she had actually handled that well. At least that was reported on media, that she had made a very emotional speech. She had got the Bangladesh Rifle back into the judicial process. They were all convicted and trial, and she had shown that she is a lady with a strong willpower. That's how 2009, Bangladesh Rifles mutiny was addressed. However, the way the trial had run, the way people were, the people were criminalized, convicted. I believe more than 150 people were sentenced to death. More than 200 or 300 people, they were given lifetime imprisonment, and hundreds of people were given imprisonment of up to 10 years. uh, that also brought some sort of a discontent among the people of Bangladesh, because generally people don't want to see this kind of high-handedness, anywhere. But Sheikh Hasina was widely respected, and her supporters, and broadly, and this is like a large part of people's will as well, that she has handled the situation very well. Uh, that was a story till 2009. And uh, in 2013, uh, not 13, sorry, 14, Sheikh Hasina, after that, in 2009, when she became the prime minister, she had never lost the election again. In 2022, when she won the election next time, this is like a last election, 2023, I believe. Uh, the opposition, they have boycotted the election. However, this was not the first time when the election was boycotted. It has happened before also. Sheikh Hasina also boycotted election when Begum Khalida Zia became the prime minister, and vice versa. So this was something which was a usual thing. And BNP, which is the Bangladeshi Nationalist Party led by Begum Khalida Zia, when she did not participate in the election, but Sheikh Hasina still went on with the election, and the other parties, they have participated, and Sheikh Hasina again won handsomely. I believe she has won more than 70% of the seats. Of course, there was hardly any opposition to her.